this is Rudy Beer at DB Services. In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating the dynamic save search feature, as well as going into some specifics on how it's implemented. Not too in-depth, as it's covered later in the article, but just a little brief overview of the feature. Here we go. To begin, you're going to want to hit this Refresh Database button. What this does is parse through the file and find all tables and their associated fields and layouts. Essentially, this will generate value lists dynamically for us to use later once we get into the dynamic save search feature. Once you click Go to Sample, you're brought to the main hub. This is where you'll be generating any save searches that you're going to want to use. Your users can come in here and build out searches that can be saved for later use. As you can see, when we hit Refresh Database, it got all of the tables in our file. We can click on any one of these, and we can see that we can choose the layouts associated with them. Since most of these are behind the scenes tables, the one that we're most interested in is invoices. As you can see, we have two layouts associated, invoices and invoices copy. If we were to go into the layouts here and make another copy, copy 2, you'd probably want a better name than that, but we go back here and we can click Refresh Database again. It'll run through. And you can see that that appears here. The reason we have search and layout is if you build out a save search, you can choose which layout you want to be sent to once that search executes. But without further ado, let's build a save search. I'm going to want to search on invoices, so I click on invoices. Then I go over to the save searches. Here I add a search, give it a name, and I click into it. Now I can add requests. Requests here work the same way as they do in FileMaker. Essentially, when you enter find mode and you create a record, that record is equivalent to a request. If you add various fields in here, it'll work as an AND. So all of those fields will be searched on with each other. If you add another request, that would act as an OR. So it would be all of those fields put in that first record, or all of those fields put in that second record. To clarify, I'll just demonstrate. So we'll make a request. We'll click into it. Now we can add fields. What I'm going to want to search on, and we'll keep it simple for right now, here you can see all of the fields that are on the table. We're going to want to search for customers. And I'm going to just want to look up and see what invoices I've got. So I'm going to put my own name. Now, once we choose which layout to search by, we click search, and here are all the invoices that I'm the customer of. You can see here that that is not all of the invoices that are available. There's not a lot of invoices right now, but we see that there is one customer, James. But say I want all of the invoices that are of me and from the year 2025. How do we do that? Well, if we go back to the query builder, we can just go back to the same search, add another field, search on date, and you can use the same tricks that you do with the regular find mode. So now this should hopefully bring us to all invoices that have the customer Rudy that are from 2025. Now let's say we want to go to invoices copy instead this time. We click search, and you can see we're brought to the single invoice that's from 2025 with my name. That was a pretty simple search. The usefulness of this feature, of course, comes when you start getting more complicated with your searches. Of course, you can save a lot of time by not having to input these long, multitudinous searches. So, say we want all of the invoices that follow this previous search here, all of the ones that are, Rudy, from the date 2025. Or we add another request. We also want to show all of the invoices that have an amount less than 5. let's execute that search and see what happens. We'll go just to regular invoices that time. They're duplicates, so it doesn't really matter. So you can see here, the search worked how we expected. We got the first request satisfying this record here. Customer's name is Rudy from the 2025 date. But you can see here, James isn't Rudy. It is from 2025, but that's neither here nor there. The amount is less than 5. So it shows up. Suppose you're sick of me. You want all the records that don't have me. Well, we know, of course, there's only James as the only other buyer at this company, but there's a better way to do it. Suppose we had James and Julia and Alex. So let's make a new search for this. We're going to call it No Rudy. That's because of what it's going to be. We click Requests, click In, and now we click Omit. That does what you're probably expecting here. If we add customers, Rudy, and we pick our search layout, we get all the customers that are James. Say we add a new customer here with the name Alex from who bought, I guess, a television. The same day James bought cereal, and say he bought 10 televisions. Let's go back to Query Builder and execute this search again. You can see we now have Alex here too. Here are all the records, and if we go back, we get this. If we go back, we can see we have all sorts of different combinations. Rudy from 2024, all the fields from 2020, this would be omitting invoices from 2025, and the invoice is greater than 100. See what that does. This gives us one invoice from 2024 greater than 100. So we've created 5 saved searches. These are always stored and ready to be used at a moment's notice. Just go down here, pick the place you would want to search on, and click the magnifying glass to search for it. But you can also search in any one of these tables. Of course, for this demo file, we only have one quote-unquote real table, but you can pick any one of these and see what it would look like. For instance, here's a test search. We can go in, it's not populated right now, but we could search for mod scripts, mod accounts, any one of these fields. You can get pretty advanced with this feature. We won't actually go into searching for this since there's only a dev layout for request, but you would normally see a search table a little bit more like this. Hopefully this video has showcased the usefulness of a feature like this. If you had hundreds and hundreds of millions of records, you can see how easy and nice it would be to have all sorts of different bespoke searches for whatever strange requests you need. Also, I hope this video has shown a little bit of the behind the scenes of how things work and inspired you to maybe consider or look into this feature for your own FileMaker solution. Thanks.